everybody.
Hi.
Excellent. Excellent. My name is Sarah Martinez, and this is Sammy Bold. Hello. And the two of us will be presenting an audio adaptation, many liberties taken, of a classic Edo-era ghost story called The Futon Storeroom. They can really name them, can't they? All right. We're going to start with a little bit of context because I think that's super duper important. So forgive me, but we're going to do just a smidgen of edumacation real quick. Why summer ghost stories? Let's, I think the most reasonable answer for why summer is when you consider the long history of Japan and the relatively short history of climate control. The one season that you cannot ignore a corpse would be summer. But there are other more cheerful reasons. Obon Festival, for instance, depending on what portion of Japan you are in, sometimes they celebrate it in July, and sometimes they celebrate in August. There are different traditions. It has a lot in common. Obviously, nothing to do with directly, but there are many commonalities. If you're familiar with Dia de los Muertos, like the Day of the Dead sort of thing, the concept of the dead come back during this period, and there's visitation of the grave, and there's offerings at a family altar, and there's processions, and there's lights. With Obon Festival, there is an active component where you lead the spirit of your deceased family member back to your home. Even if maybe you can't do the full tradition, you will light a lantern, you will light lights in your house specifically to bring the spirits of your loved ones back. And that's got a wonderful family, ancestors, and understanding of, when you're gone, you're not really gone. But it's also an opportunity for horrible spirits to do terrible things because they all come back. So then we've got another problem. What if they won't leave? And that's where we, yay. All right, the thing is, okay, so now everyone who was ever any mother's child is back from the dead for 3 days. And your family's cool because you love your family. But there are some people who don't love their family. And there are some people who are terrible in life. And they're all back now. And there's a real worry that the ones that like it here won't go. And we end up with a lot of lingering ghosts in late summer. Okay? But those are just the human ghosts. Because Japan's got a couple of other traditions when it comes to the spirit realm. There's a sense that in Shintoism, and I don't mean the modern codified Shintoism, because there's many different sects of Shintoism that are now a more formalized religion, but early Shintoism, the concept of someone is born and they never travel more than 30 miles from their house. That kind of village-based, location-based, region-based Shintoism. The concept that strong emotions are also indicative of spirits. So if you come across a beautiful landscape or an incredible view, a beautiful vista, some sort of strange and unusual natural formation, it's a sign of godliness, it's a sign of spirits, and typically those things are all very positive. And the fact that we all experience that same awe when faced with the Married Rocks down there, or when faced with the Torii Gates out in the waters. That is a sign that yes, because we are, all of us humans are experiencing this wonderful sensation, in the presence of these natural phenomenon, that means that it must be divine because it transcends the boundaries of one person to the next, right? But what if you're experiencing, we all agree that we're experiencing something terrible? Those things are also spirits. Anything with a name has a spirit. The Baltimore Convention Center, Baltimore City, Otakon itself, anything with a name. The thing is, any spirit old enough has real power. So the older the stuff is, and boy is stuff old in Japan, the more powerful it is. So if there has been a place where generation after generation people have been committing suicide, if there is a place where every time your Lord sends you into battle, your brothers and your fathers and your grandfathers have died on this patch of land, those are powerful, terrible places, and the spirits that inhabit them are nothing to mess with. So if age gives power and name gives power, what is older than suffering itself? Now we're talking about war. And the reason that this really matters to this particular ghost story is that this ghost story is set in what is called the Edo period of Japan. In hundreds of years prior to this period, it was medieval Japan. It was feudal. We had feudal lords sending their men into battle, slaughtering each other. There was blood. There's blood in every field. At this point in history, there are still undiscovered corpses being located. In the face of so much war, and in the face of not knowing who's actually in charge, wow. Why would you go to war if you know you're just going to die? Why not just rob travelers along the road and not report to a lord? Why not? Oh my goodness, there's lawlessness. People are being slaughtered. There is nothing good about this time period. If you are out there in the fields, your life is in your hands. Now, the big problem is that war makes two things: corpses and grudges. Now, Edo, Japan has come under the rule of the Tokugawa shogunate, and they have done wonderful things. They have built up cities. They've been taxing those local warlords and using the money to build bridges and public works projects, keeping those local warlords from being able to finance going to war again. And they've made it kind of safe. It's nice now. I mean, it's not so nice because you're still in 17th century Japan. But minus the air conditioning, it's not so bad. And that's where we begin, you see. Because those sharp victories under the Tokugawa have given us cities and commerce and building projects. Edo is now the capital city, and the districts are sprawling in all directions. Business is booming. It's a good time to be alive and a good time for celebrating, which means it's a great time to be a rice wine merchant. A certain sake merchant household is who we will follow. And yes, they're laboring under a mysterious, oops, sorry, forgot about that. The world is still full of angriness. Yes, our sake merchant is lingering under a mysterious curse. Can we bring the lights down?
1814, on a weirdly warm October night in the Fukugawa district of Edo. The neighborhood is built on marshes and canals are crisscrossed with bridges. The air hangs still and thick near the home and workshop of a sake company called Kanekoya. We press through a moonless night, past shuttered buildings, sleeping neighborhoods, and stagnant canals to the sluggish river, and the only bathhouse open late enough for the Kanekoya workers. The lights are being extinguished in the furthest windows. They've served their last client for the night.
I know we're on orders to guard this district, sir, but why all the way out to the old bathhouse? Everyone's in for the night.
You're new, but the Konekoya sake workers get off their shift late at night. Their master pays a little extra for their safety, so here we are. There's never any problems with them. Usually we have to break up fights between workers or we catch them stealing, but I've never had to with the Konekoya crew.
We deal with rowdy workers a lot then, sir?
I could tell you some stories about some of the country bumpkin apprentices we get here in the city. Cheating the masters, running away, racking up gambling debts, you name it. After they've been raised neath their master's roof for years. Turn right here.
That's a lousy way to repay folks. Teaching you a trade, that's for sure. Kanekoya sounds like the place to work. Even if the hours are long, at least you're not working with troublemakers.
We turn here. There's something weird about the Kanekoya. Wouldn't work there if you paid me. The place is cursed.
What?
Masters keep dropping dead. Barely last beyond their 29th birthday. The place is run by son after son after son. All of them just barely sprouting chin hairs when there's a funeral followed by the fastest possible wedding.
Really? Surely that's not...
Well, I've seen it twice. And the officer that trained me swears he saw it twice before that and heard about the curse before that. That family did something terrible and they're paying for it in blood. Wait, what was that?
There, up the road. The end of my lantern light.
I'll check the woman. You look for attacker.
Right!
Miss, I'm going to roll you over now. I'm a guard. Don't be scared. Oh my...
I don't see any sign of attack. There's blood everywhere.
It's from her face. I can't see any other injuries. She's still breathing through her mouth. Her nose is just...
The only thing down that way is the bathhouse, right? If this is one of the Kanekoya girls, we should get her back there fast.
Right. Stand up, man. I'll put her on your back.
Just spot me while we're walking. I don't want to drop her.
Of course. Speak of the devil and he shall come. Kanekoya workers never are injured or sick. I guess it had to happen eventually, but it's sad to see for a girl so young.
Oh, what's she saying, sir?
Come this way to where you hear my clapping hands. Only come this way to where you hear my clapping hands.
Are you feeling okay, girl? Demons? What? Oni, what?
Only come this way.
She's delirious right now. Speaking to her won't answer anything.
To where you hear my clapping hands.
She's calling demons, sir. I can't wait to get her and her Oni back home and away from us.
You're superstitious. You'll face worse than demons at the guard, boy. We're here anyways. Hopefully the chief of the household has an explanation. This is the Fukugawa Guard. We have one of your workers.